to Star Wars Battlefront 2 stream. So let's do some HVV gameplay. I'm gonna be joined with Awesome Man 3226.
And that's Childish Calrissian.
Yes, yes it is.
Yes, it is.
Alright. So, make sure you sub to him.
Make sure you
You'll be able
sub
to
to
hear us
him.
both on each channel, depending on which one you watch. Doesn't matter. Both would be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go on, start some HVV here. So, what do you think about Palpatine coming back on the 7th? You excited for that?
Yes, I just wish it was with the August update.
Yeah, that would be nice, but the DICE employees are now just getting back from vacation. I know Ben gets back that Monday.
I just have to say, seriously, taking a vacation, like, the week before an update?
And that's probably why.
On a team that's already stretched. On a team that's already really stretched and has been known as a terrible team.
Oh, he joined midway through a game.
Good idea. Yay.
Yeah, that's probably why July has been probably the worst month. Just because everyone says, oh, let's take a vacation.
Yeah. Even though they added a ton of bugs in the patch that was supposed to mostly be for fixing bugs.
Yeah. Instead of getting new heroes, they took more away. So that was nice.
Yeah, right now we have
I still wish we could have got heroes for solo.
Yeah, but I don't really see what they could do as villains.
Well, they could have had Emphas Nest and,
that could be cool.
Beckett.
Yeah, that would have been really neat. I would have liked Beckett as a character. Or even they could go with Kira.
Yeah, they could.
Kylo, why are you camping?
They could have had, Dryden as well. Dryden Vosk. It's weird because every time I watch, like every time I just think of him, I just keep thinking of Vision.
Why?
Because Paul Bettany plays him.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know who Dryden was for a while.
You know, the guy with the like the main guy, bad guy, the villain?
Yeah.
Like
I did not know that Paul Bettany plays him, but now that I know it, I can see that. I can see that a lot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they could have done a lot more than. I mean, I liked the skins and stuff, don't get me wrong, but new heroes, we could have also. Corellia would have been a nice map to get to.
That would have been really neat. And they had a ton of potential.
They did, yeah.
I have to say that's one of my favorite planets from the sequel trilogy on. Or, well, it wasn't made then. It was actually Expanded Universe before Solo.
Yeah.
Apparently Dengar was born there. Yeah, part of me is mixed, in the fact that they made the Expanded Universe non-canon.
Well, the thing that I like about it is it's a lot less reading you have to catch up on.
Yeah, because I mean, I've read like one of the books, I think.
With the sequel trilogy, they have to kind of write out a lot of that stuff, so it might have just been easier.
And they're probably gonna have to add some of it.
Well, they're already starting back with new books and stuff, but they're more comics by Marvel, so they're a lot better, like at least in the comic book division, on them.
Yeah, but one thing that I think is a little bit weird is that they've decided to make all of the books from before now not canon, but they're still sort of making Expanded Universe books. I mean, they have books with new characters.
Oh, because they have to replace the newer the other characters with new characters. Like, for instance, Han and Leia's other kids, well, now they just have Kylo, so.
Yeah, I think they had 3 or 4 in the Expanded Universe.
I think it was 3. It might have been 4. I know Luke had a couple, too. Or he might have had one. I know he had a long line of family.
Yeah, I do sort of like it because it's a lot less reading. I mean, I've only read, I think, one of them. I don't know why, but they had it in an elementary school library. It was way too advanced for elementary school.
I don't really have a problem with it because I've never read it or like tried to.
But from what I've heard, especially on like Wikipedia, it actually sounds pretty neat. And I feel like they could try and make some of it into movies.
Yeah, they might take aspects from it, but I don't think they're. I think they're gonna try and.
It's a bit weird because they changed it while like the Thrawn series was going on. That's when they changed it, which was a bit odd because they were still working on it.
Well.
And supposedly the Thrawn stuff is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much of a problem with it just because I've never gotten into it, so...
Yeah, but I could see why some people have problems with it if they've read a lot of them.
Yeah, the people that have read all of it and stuff. But I mean, it's just kind of, I mean, those people still, those are the stories and stuff, but, I mean...
Yeah, and they're not necessarily canon, but they still can be read.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they just took them off the shelves and said, oh, you can't
it's not like
this
they said that it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's just not considered canon anymore. You know, I know a lot of people will probably get upset with me about this, but I mean, I personally would like if Rebels was not canon. Just
yeah, the only thing is they added a ton of, like, new elements to it, especially with Ahsoka.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like they could use a lot of that stuff, like, for instance, Maul dying. I feel like that would have been a lot better to have in a movie. Since Solo kind of teased that
died in Rebels? I did not know that.
Yeah, Obi-Wan killed him.
Oh. I admittedly didn't know that.
It was on, I think the episode name was Twin Sons, and Maul went to go kill Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan just kind of was like, just cut him in half, but, well, not really in half, but he kind of cut his lightsaber in half and then killed him, because Maul discovered that Obi-Wan was protecting Luke.
I've never really seen anything of the Clone Wars, but from what I've seen on, like, YouTube, I'm actually kind of upset that I haven't. Cause like something like the fight scenes look really cool, or like really intricate.
The Clone Wars is like.
Yeah, I've tried to catch up to a little bit on YouTube. I would have to say it's better than the
prequels. It's better than the prequels. I mean, the prequels are good. I mean, I
yeah, I've tried to catch up to a little bit because I know a bit of it is on YouTube. Obviously, not the entire thing, but a bit.
Yeah, they have it all on Netflix. They have all the seasons on there. That's what I always do. The prequels are so much. I love the prequels. Like, I know a lot of people don't like them, but I love them.
But I mean, a lot of people don't like any Star Wars movie. Like, true Star Wars fans. Have you seen the meme that true Star Wars fans don't like any of them? Except for New Hope and Empire Strikes Back? But that is kind of true. Because, I mean, like, a lot of Star Wars fans don't like Return of the Jedi. I personally really like it, but I see why some people didn't like it. Like Ewoks.
Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with the Ewoks, but I can see why some people would get upset about that.
I did, however, have a problem with Jar Jar.
Yeah, Jar Jar was a little bit annoying, I'd have to say.
I mean, he got so much screen time.
Stuff like that doesn't really bother me because it doesn't really take, like, the Phantom Menace is not my favorite, but I think definitely the end with Darth Maul really was the best.
That's the same with me for Attack of the Clones. I didn't really like it, but I absolutely loved the Geonosis scene.
The Geonosis was pretty good. I liked the Obi-Wan, his story plot in that. I liked that.
Oh, I'd personally have to... This is really controversial, but I'd say that the Geonosis scene is one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars. Ouch,
the
that's
battle arena.
controversial. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of people's favorite, like action-wise. It was pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, cause
I would have to say my favorite lightsaber duel was definitely the Mustafar. That was the.
But that one I
the
felt
best,
was a little bit too short. I mean, it ended with the high ground, the Mustafar duel. I don't know what my
it was a
favorite
pretty
would have
long
been.
battle. I don't think. I mean, I thought it was pretty long.
Oh, I don't know what my
they can't
favorite
make it
would
too
be.
long. That would definitely be my favorite.
Oh, we has a viewer. Never mind, that's just my phone. Yay.
Yeah, that would definitely have to be my favorite. Is the Mustafar duel.
Yeah, there were a lot of really neat moments in the prequels, but the rest of the movies just brought them down.
The action is a lot better, I feel like.
Yeah.
The stories were like how they were in the original trilogy, like the plot and the stuff, because like the special effects and the action in all the prequels, that was like a lot better. Like I enjoyed the lightsaber fights a lot better.
Yeah, because honestly, this is also another controversial opinion. The original trilogy didn't have that great saber fights. I mean, they're definitely the most iconic, but they definitely didn't have it down until the prequels.
Yeah, but also, then again, those movies came out, like, there's like well, I wouldn't say there's almost a 20-year gap.
Yeah, and movies changed, and action movies changed a ton between that gap.
Yeah, there's a lot more special effects and stuff, and they're a lot better now, special effects. That's one thing I do like about the sequel trilogy, is that it looks really good, but...
One thing a lot of people say that I don't agree with is that there were way too many special effects. The thing is, that's actually a lie. There weren't that many. There were actually a lot more practical effects than even the original trilogy.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I like, because the lightsabers definitely looked a lot better. Even though I know that in the original trilogy, practical effects were pretty much everything.
Yeah, I have to say, I think that that Kylo Ren's is probably one of my favorite looking sabers overall.
Yeah, it's different. I like the way it ignites.
I really like the way that it's all cracked and stuff. And I never realized until just quite recently that it actually had a reason for being like cracked. Because the crystal is actually cracked.
Yeah. I'd have to say my favorite saber though is probably Maul's, the double-bladed.
I don't know what mine is.
But I know Kylo's is. I do like Kylo's, but I think Maul. I personally like Maul more as a character than I do Kylo.
Yeah, I don't know, cause Maul barely has any character, but that's not his fault. Because, I mean, he does have 3 seconds of screen time.
But you haven't really seen the Clone Wars.
Yeah. At least in the movies, he barely has any character.
In the movies, he doesn't have a lot. But hopefully, since that tease from Solo, that...
Yeah.
We might... I actually...
If they make an Obi-Wan movie... I personally think they would put him in as a villain in an Obi-Wan movie. I don't think that they would give him his own movie.
I think if they did, they'd probably do really good, but I also Obi-Wan would be really good with him, though.
I personally think that Snoke could actually have his own movie. I don't, like, nobody thinks that, but he has a ton of backstory.
Yeah, I think that, what would be an interesting theory, I don't know if it's still, like, would be relevant or not, but I think
Snoke is actually Jar Jar.
Yeah. What if, like, Snoke was, like, Palpatine or something?
That could be cool. I personally think he would be revealed as Plagueis, if anybody.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if Palpatine managed to survive.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, I think. Because, wait, hold on, I think...
Yes, Bailey, I'm on with Chaz, so you can't talk to me.
I think that, an interesting...
Bailey, go. Bailey. Okay, sorry, I had to take my microphone out.
Alright, well, I can still hear you.
Oh. We will not report.
Alright, well,
probably unplugged
anyways,
it.
I think that, an interesting, thing would be, because I believe in the prequel, one of the lines that he says is to cheat death is a power that's only been done, like, once before, or something like that. And I think it was talking about, I don't know, he was talking about something, but I feel like that would be a pretty interesting twist, if he managed to cheat death, because I think Snoke said something about cheating death, didn't he?
I think.
I want to say he did, that's why it's kind of interesting.
I have to say, I kind of liked the reveal that Rey had nobody parents. I
feel like it would have been better than having her be Obi-Wan started, because first of all, why would Obi-Wan just drop her off if she would have the power of the Force? Because he would have to know that. And secondly, why would he drop her off, if he's, also because of that. And also, he's looking after Luke too, so I mean, that'd be pointless.
Yeah. But it would be cool to maybe see her parents. It would be cool to see her parents in like a scene like Anakin's parents or Anakin's mom.
Get ready.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that though.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably just leave it as at nothing. Which I'm kind of glad, because I don't see who else they could really be.
Yeah, I don't think that they should be anybody but nobody. I kinda like it. But it also doesn't really explain where she got the Force from, which is one...
Everyone has the Force.
Well, the Force, I think it's supposed to typically run in a family.
Not necessarily. It's only the Skywalkers that we know for sure runs in a family. Because even in The Phantom Menace, when Qui-Gon was checking Anakin for his midichlorian count.
Midichlorians.
So, I mean, it could basically, I think, what the thing is that everyone has it, just some people are more in tune with it than everyone else.
You should have kept your distance.
Goodness, this Kylo's frenzy.
Yeah, I just saw that happen.
It's killed me like 5 times.
It's all about Warfish.
Yeah, Rey doesn't have too much health for a saber user, and also has no regenerative abilities. Which can be annoying, because things like that just can happen. If you saw my screen, you would know what I'm talking about.
Well, that did not go as planned.
Walk away.
I think that a Plagueis Palpatine would be, or not Plagueis Palpatine, I think that a Snoke as Palpatine would actually be pretty cool to tie it all together.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, Palpatine's like the main villain of Star Wars. Because he's the one who's behind all of it. And I feel like if he was able to do like what he did with cheat death and like recover and try and become stronger. I would actually probably prefer that than him being Plagueis, I think.
Yeah, but I personally don't think that Star Wars would, or that Disney would do that. Oh, great. There would make him Palpatine, but I think that would be pretty neat.
I feel like they probably would do that over making him Plagueis. just
Or
because
just
it might
some
be
other
easier
Sith
to,
Lord.
because this is going to be, yeah, either that too, it just won't be anybody. But I feel like it,
If he's not anybody, I will actually be upset, because I mean, Rey got teased so much, and then was eventually revealed to be the
yeah,
child of
because
a
episode
nobody.
9 is the last of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
So,
Until
therefore,
Disney realizes that Star Wars does well, and probably makes another.
well, Ryan
Breaking
Johnson's
news,
already
Chewie
making
is
another
revealed to be
trilogy.
a... Breaking news, Chewie is revealed to be a Skywalker, continues Skywalker saga.
Well, that's not really what Ryan Johnson's already making another trilogy. It's just not going to be a part of that saga.
Oh, great. Ryan Johnson making another trilogy. This could go really well or really bad.
Honestly,
Just
I
like
feel
The
like
Last
Ryan Johnson
Jedi.
gets too much hate.
Yeah, I don't despise him, but I don't know. I do have to say I liked The Last Jedi more than The Force Awakens, and I really couldn't tell you why. I just didn't really like The Force Awakens.
I feel like The Force Awakens was too much like A New Hope.
Yeah, I'm glad that The Last Jedi wasn't too much like Empire
Because the
Strikes
thing
Back.
is, I feel like I liked that it was like that Ryan decided to be bold with it, like make it different.
But
something
I have to admit, I think he went a little too bold in some places. Cough, cough, Rose, cough, cough.
What'd you say?
Cough, cough, Rose, cough, cough.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is though, there's always something in Star Wars that's not great. Because you had Jar Jar, you have like all type Ewoks. There's always something. There's really not like a perfect Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I think Empire would be the closest, but even that had some flaws to it.
Yeah.
Very little, but still. I really don't hate Rose that much.
I personally do. I just don't feel like she was needed. I don't really like the arc with her sister. I forget what her name is.
Yeah, I kind of liked it a little.
I think I do sort of like the arc with her sister because it also ties into Poe's arc.
Yeah.
But I feel like that could have been anybody else. My main complaint with Rose, other than all of Canto Bite, I saw this one thing.
Canto Bite, I really didn't feel like it was needed, but I feel like it was kind of good because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, it's just Disney trying to say capitalism was bad and stuff like that." But I feel like it just kind of because it did make a difference if you think about it when they picked up Mr. Stutter guy. That like when he was talking about the guys with the ships and the stuff, he said, because he was saying that he make the deals with the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah, I personally wish that Maz had more of a role. Like
Maz is gonna have more of a role in episode 9, though.
I mean, she was in the poster, and then she showed up for one scene, and she wasn't even there.
Yeah. But I kind of did like Canto. I mean, I didn't like all of it, but I think the parts like with them like escaping the prison and stuff was pretty neat. But going in there and it was just kind of.
I have to say, I think that Canto Bite gave way to my favorite angry tweet about The Last Jedi. We have 6 hours of fuel left. Let's go free some space horses. The sad thing is that's basically what the plot of Canto Bite was.
No, it really wasn't. They were trying to get a code breaker so they could get onto the Star Destroyer.
But also, yeah, I can sort of understand that, but one of their main...
I mean, there's really nothing to understand. That's what the plot is, to get the Star Destroyer. Oh, we have a viewer. So I feel like The Last Jedi is not as bad, and you just unplug your mic.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the plot on Canto Bite wasn't just free space horses, as you say. It's to get the code breaker.
I didn't say that. That was an angry person
go.
on Twitter.
I know that's what you said, but I mean, you said that that's basically what it was, is what you said. But it's not really at all. It just was an event that happened.
I think like everybody's major complaint with it, which I kind of share but kind of don't, is that Rose, Canto Bite, a lot of the stuff in The Last Jedi was unneeded. Cough cough, the milk scene, cough cough. That milk scene was beautiful.
It doesn't need to be in there, but I don't feel it didn't really bother me that much.
Oh, the milk scene didn't bother you? It didn't really bother me, but it was just interesting.
I thought it was funny, actually.
I thought it was funny up until up until Luke's lips. That was not, no thank you.
No, I thought it was funny it got caught in his beard. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was, yeah.
Just him sitting there drinking it, and it's just like, what are you doing?
I'm kind of surprised that Porgs got the reception that they did.
Honestly, I thought that the Porgs were the worst part of The Last Jedi. That's
they were only in it for 2 minutes. Actually, no, less than
Those
it.
were terrible. Okay, I know this doesn't really have anything to do with it, but if you think about the animals in The Last Jedi, the Porgs, just for comic relief, don't do anything.
They were actually. They were planned to have a story arc with Chewie and be a major part in it.
Well, they just kind of. He was about to eat them, and he decided not to eat them.
No, they were planned to have a story arc. They didn't actually go through with it.
All they were was a comic relief. They got all types of merchandise and stuff. Now the Vulpix, the little crystal critters, help the Resistance.
I have to say, yes, those should have totally had merchandise.
They got no recognition, no acknowledgement. They saved the entire Resistance by showing them the way out. Yet, no acknowledgement.
But Rian Johnson did say that he has plans with Porgs as, like, something with Chewie. To help, like, get over Han. Porg therapy.
I feel like that I'm glad he decided not to do that. Because that is probably the dumbest thing ever.
I don't think so. I think that's actually kind of neat. I mean, like, pretty much the only
Han just died. Let me get some space chickens to make me feel better. That's like one of the worst ideas that you could come up with.
I don't think so.
That's like when you know that you're really digging at the bottom of the barrel. We got some space chickens to help me get over Han.
But I think I have to say, I am glad that they didn't give, like, so much screen time that it was unbearable. Like, I, who even loves them, thinks that if they had a ton of screen time, I wouldn't like them nearly as much. But I am glad that they... I
didn't really care for them at all. I thought they were kind of annoying.
But you do have to say, they definitely put them in for a good amount of time. Like, I think there were, like, I want to say, I saw this thing, there were 2 or 3 scenes in the entire movie with just them as characters.
Yeah, I felt that they should have just stayed on Octu. I thought that putting them in the Falcon was really just kind of...
Yeah, I personally don't think that they should have had, I would have liked it better if there was, like, one main Porg that actually sort of had a character.
Yeah, see, that's where you and I don't really think that there should have been a character. I don't think they should have been a character. I think they should have been just there, like part of Octu. I don't think they should have been on the Falcon, we have a whole, like, colony of Porgs on the Falcon now.
I admittedly would have liked it better if there was one with not necessarily have them as characters, but one with actual character that, like, qualifies as a character, not just sort of a bird that's there.
Oh, so you want, like, an Ewok, like, what's the You want a Wicket,
yeah, like,
Porg version.
Maybe just one who actually has a character. Because I mean, Wicket,
So like Wicket.
yeah, sort of,
So
like, the Ewoks weren't all great.
Oh wow, that was so lucky. Do you have any idea where I just landed? If you, when you go look at my stream, that you'll see, because that was amazing. Look at my stream after this, because that was amazing right there.
Alright.
Where I just landed. I literally landed on like one of those exterior poles on the outside.
Goodness, Bosk is so good for getting kills. Multi-traps is amazing for getting kills with mines. You can just,
So
you can get like tons of kills.
To be like Wicket. That's what you're saying.
Not necessarily as fleshed out as him, but one with an actual character, like, that you can not necessarily relate to, but so that Chewie has, like, I don't know how exactly to explain it. So yeah,
you're
sort
really
of like a Wicket Cord.
into the hole. It's getting deeper and deeper.
No, I just think that would have been neat if they had one with a, like, actual character. Because I do have to agree with you, they didn't do anything. If there was one who actually did something.
Their only purpose was just because, well, A, comic relief, and B, because they didn't want to halt production. Because of puffins. Which I feel like they should have just put them where the puffins were.
They would have actually had to slow it down, like, a couple of months, apparently.
Yeah, no, that's why I said they just had, that's the only reason why I'm fine with that, but having them, I think making it into a character is a little much. Because that's exactly how you get people upset. Because, yeah, that they tried doing that with Jar Jar and the Ewoks.
Yeah, but I don't see as much hate on Wicket as, like, with Jar Jar. And the other Ewoks. Yeah, but that's because
Wicket was only in for a little bit of the movie, and he really didn't do a whole lot.
I feel like that's why I don't see nearly as much Porg hate as Jar Jar, because they weren't necessarily
Jar Jar was
characters.
in pretty much like the whole movie of the Phantom Menace, but I'm glad he wasn't really in the second or the third one a whole lot.
Yeah, even you have to say that it's better that they didn't have, even I have to say it's better that they didn't have a ton of screen time.
Or you mean the Porgs or Jar Jar?
Porgs. How they didn't have, like, I think I saw this one video, they had 2 minutes of overall screen time, and only 2 of those scenes were them by themselves. A lot of them were in the Falcon or with the Resistance.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of pointless to have them in the Falcon. I feel like they're just kind of pointless overall. Besides the fact that they needed it for production purposes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I felt like they just get too much. I feel like they get too much praise for what they actually did.
But I do have to say, I do like them better than, I think they would be a little bit better, more, like, better if they were not necessarily like Jar Jar, and not as much as the Ewoks, but at least did something. Like the Vulpix did.
They're just birds.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Maybe something on Octu. Maybe sort of like the Vulpix did, how they could lead Rey down into that one cave. Or something.
But that was the Force. Yeah. I feel like that would have just kind of ruined the movie if they just
had... Our Force.
Oh, Rey discovers this by space chickens leading her this way.
The whole Mirror Cave in general was a little bit strange. I feel like they tried to go like sci-fi.
That was probably one of the most intense moments, though.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It wasn't necessarily
Did you just see that?
No, I was dead.
What do you mean by not intense? You were about to find out who her parents were.
I was gonna say, I don't think it was as intense as in what happens, but what could have happened. Like, there were so many possibilities, it was really suspenseful for those minutes that you didn't know exactly what was going to happen.
Come out.
But I am glad that they made Rey's parents be nobodies.
I actually kind of thought it was, I was a little disappointed at first, but I do kind of like, overall, after watching the whole movie, I wasn't, like, it didn't get me upset.
I do have to say...
I was just kind of shocked at first.
Yeah, the one thing that I will say is, if I would be upset if they didn't make Snoke, have an actual backstory just because they didn't do it with Rey. I think it worked there, but I don't think it would work for him.
Yeah.
Especially because they already sort of told it.
Because I feel like a lot of people why like get upset about that is because I don't think that they can like really grasp onto like the fact of having a new character. Like they have to be connected to somebody. That's what I don't really care for. Because I feel like what happened was The Force Awakens just kind of left with so many clues, and people just kept speculating and just got upset because their speculations aren't what they were.
Yeah, but I think that I would even be very upset if now they did it again with Snoke. I just feel like that wouldn't be right. They already pulled it once.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really... If Snoke's dead, there shouldn't be a whole lot about him. Then, unless he's really not dead, like if he's part of the Force now or something. But supposedly, I think I heard something, a rumor or something, that this is, well, it might not have been more speculation, but if there's a nice time jump in between this and Rey's more of a Jedi now, she's kind of like with Return of the Jedi, she's more trained and stuff, and Kylo's like the actual supreme leader and is feared again.
Yeah, I really hope they don't go with Kylo becoming good. I feel like they did it with Vader. Vader worked, but I don't think Kylo...
I feel like the original 6 movies, they were about Vader.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke was kind of the main character in the original trilogy, but at the saga, the whole is about Vader's rise and fall to the dark side. Which I still think that the whole saga is about Vader, because, I mean, his rise and fall and then his legacy that he left behind.
Yeah, I think it would work if they made Kylo, like, at the very end, have remorse for what he did, but I don't feel like they should do something with Vader.
Cool if he maybe... yeah, I don't think it should be something like that, but I feel like it would be cool if Anakin were to show up to confront him.
Yeah. Sort of like, a little bit like how Luke did at the end.
Well, I feel like it would have been cool or something if he's like about to kill Rey or something, and Anakin shows up as a Force ghost and tells him to stop. And
yeah.
I feel like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Besides like Rey defeating him or something.
Yeah. I sort of want Kylo to be built up as this, like, terrifying dude, more powerful than the Emperor, more powerful than Vader, more powerful than Snoke.
Yeah, I'd like him to be... I'd also like him to get his helmet back. Just because I feel like he was more fearsome with
I feel like they could do a ton of changes that I would like.
Apparently
like maybe give him a new saber. And Finn has long hair, never mind.
As in, he probably hasn't had a haircut in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, like there's a little to-do list. Oh yeah, I forgot to get a haircut today. Oh, yeah, I should probably do that sometime before I get advertised as a major part of a movie.
Yeah, apparently Poe's supposed to get a new flight outfit, they said.
Yeah, I really hope that Poe and Hux come to Battlefront too.
Yeah, I feel like they might have them for 9.
Yeah, unless they add in some other new characters. I was
really looking forward to Rose.
You know, if they ever do add like premiere skins like they did in Injustice with other characters, and I have a feeling that just because EA is EA, they would add Rose. I don't think anybody would like it, but I have a feeling just because they're EA, they would do it.
I don't think they would add Rose.
Disney would tell them, Mickey Mouse would come over to EA with a gun. You better add Rose.
We need to get more female characters. We said we were gonna get Ahsoka. No, Rose.
We need more female characters, but nobody liked Rose.
Rose is a female character, is she not?
Yeah, but it is a little bit scummy, because some of the fans have reasons for not liking The Last Jedi, and calling them just because they don't like it, just because it had apparently strong women in film, which have never been done before. Never been done once. There's never been a single woman in any film. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's where you're wrong, though. Because there's women in film, there's a difference between having a woman leading and just being in it.
But there have been several movies with women mans that.
There's not been any Star Wars with a lead as a woman until The Force Awakens. And even then, she really wasn't even technically the lead.
But I have to say, Disney basically saying that it's the first strong woman ever in film does make me feel a little bit, like, salty, because there have been
Wonder Woman
very
kinda
many.
came out, like, a little bit before that.
Yeah. I mean, just look at some things, like, for example, the Hunger Games. I despise them, but still, they had a very strong woman man who was built up to be this huge character.
Yeah.
Did really anybody like those movies? Not really, but still. If we want to go even deeper. Oh yeah, now that I think about it. Oh, I was thinking of something different. If we want to go even deeper in the rabbit hole, Twilight.
Yeah.
Strong female lead. Strong female lead. I'm gonna be very disappointed if episode 9 doesn't have any more Ben Swallow. He is my favorite character. I will be very disappointed.
Yeah.
Swallow is now a legend.
I think the reason that a lot of people didn't like The Last Jedi is just because I feel like the people are too attached to one way Star Wars is.
Yeah, but I do have to say, if they make a huge drastic change, I would be the first one to defend the fact that they, like, even some occasional times how they handled Luke I didn't like. I liked him as a whole, but sometimes I feel like they didn't really handle him right.
Yeah, I know he's supposed to be more optimistic and stuff like he usually is, but I feel like I was okay with it, like knowing that like what happened to him, but I know there wasn't really a whole lot of backstory as to why he was like that.
But I have to say, the one thing that I don't like is Disney basically just saying that, because I know a lot of fans didn't necessarily have reasons, but a lot of them did have reasons for not liking The Last Jedi. And Disney just sort of said, no, you don't like it because you don't like women. And that, I think that's what made quite a lot of people upset.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also what Disney says about it. It's not what the movie itself, the movie has, I mean, besides it's a Disney product, but I mean, that's not nothing to do with.
And I mean, although one thing I have to say, look, Disney basically said that there's never been a strong woman in a film. They literally have made trillions of dollars off of their princess line, and with the recent movies, I guess that they can qualify as strong women. I personally wouldn't, but they're trying to make it more like that.
Princesses aren't really strong women, though.
But
they kind of just get rescued.
Like, have you seen some of the more recent ones?
No, I don't care to either.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I didn't really like them, but they have been trying to make them more like people that they can look up to. That young girls can look up to.
Yeah, but, I mean, still, I'm not defending what Disney said about that, but, I mean, that has nothing to do with... If anything, people shouldn't be upset with the movie because of what Disney said. They should be upset with Disney.
I have 3 viewers. I have no clue who they are. One of them is my own phone.
I have 0.
One of them is my own phone, which I should probably take off because it's gonna die. Oh, now it's back down to 1. Thanks, 2 people. You're the MVPs. Also, I just have to say, MVP Stefan Lego Brickset. Doesn't even speak English, still subscribed. That is the definition of an MVP.
Yeah, I'd have to say that just like with Disney, I feel like the people that are upset about that, they shouldn't be upset with the movie because of that.